Hello everybody, this is Christine Lewicki and I am doing this video for the day 4 of the 21-day challenge to quit complaining. In the day 1, I asked you to wear a bracelet and to switch a wrist every time you complain and to kind of do that dance where the goal is to make you aware of the amount of complaining that is happening in your life and to kind of be aware of the level of pollution that you are creating for yourself. And my goal with that first day and my goal with this challenge is to really help you create a strong commitment to change this habit of complaining. And the only way for you to be committed to change is for you to be aware of how much it's costing you to keep living your life the way you are. Okay? So you need to choose. You need to choose to quit complaining, and that's not something that I can do for you. It has to be your own choice, and the only way is for you to be aware of how much complaining is going on and to be curious to discover what could become possible if you could navigate your life without complaining. We also did a video on day 2 to help you recognize what is a complaint. When is it that you're complaining and when is it that you're not? If you missed that video, please go back to day 2 and watch this video. We came up with the 3 criteria to recognize a complaint. The tone of your voice, the positioning, are you positioning yourself as a victim and playing this game of who's right and who's wrong? And then the accuracy of your communication. Are you describing the problem for what it is, or are you transforming your little problem into dramas because mainly you're afraid that otherwise you're not going to be heard? We also did a video to look at this idea of maybe sometime you are feeling that other people should do this challenge more than you, and it's probably right. There is probably a lot of people around you that are complaining way more than you. And by the way, most of the time, the biggest complainers are not the one doing this challenge. Most of the time, the people who are doing this challenge are not the one who complain the most. But all you can do is you can inspire them to change. So I really want to invite you to wear a bracelet, to embark on this journey and to tell them what you're learning on this journey. By sharing your journey, you can inspire them to embrace some of the lessons that you're learning. Okay, today I want to get to the nitty-gritty of this challenge. How can you quit complaining? When I did my own challenge, I had so many areas in my life where I was complaining. For today, I want you to pick only one area. Let's start with only one area of your life where you realize that you're complaining, and I want you to choose the one situation that is making you complain every time, the one that is like a repetition. It's like almost every day you complain about the same thing over and over and over again. For me in my life, what was making me complain all the time was the morning routine and how to get my kids ready out of the door, ready to go to school, and myself ready to go to work. Okay, that was my red zone. Okay, maybe for some of you, the red zone is when you're driving and you always get so upset about how other people drive around you, or maybe what always turn you is to complaining is the amount of emails that you have in your mailbox. So pick one red zone today and ask yourself, what can I do to change only that red zone? What needs to happen for you to not let that thing make me complain? Okay, to not let that thing make me crazy. Okay, what needs to change? For me, there is 3 different types of change that can happen. The first type of change is you got to do something differently. Maybe for me, I had to wake up earlier. I had to organize my morning routine differently. I had to do something different. You know, Einstein was saying, you know, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So the first thing you can do is change something so that you can maybe expect a different result. So you do the change and you expect a different result. The second type of change that you can do is maybe you need to let go. Maybe, you know, you're turning crazy about the other drivers on the road, but it's not going to change anything about your drive. Maybe you need to surrender, you need to let go, you need to drop your expectations because it's not worth it. Okay? So the second area is kind of surrendering, letting go because it's not worth it. And the third area is maybe you need to communicate, maybe you need to tell other people, because maybe other people are involved in this red zone that you're facing every day. So it's how can you change your communication? How can you address the problem in a different way? Because obviously when you address it by complaining, it's not working. Right? I always say if complaining was working, we would not have any reasons to complain, right? The house would be in order, everybody would do whatever we want them to do when we want them to do, right? Complaining is not working. So how can you communicate with the people that are concerned by the frustration that you're facing every day? How can you communicate with them so that you increase the chance that they're gonna cooperate? So let's start with you using the 3 criteria. Can you use a tone of voice that maybe is not so sour? How can you express the problem without making them wrong, without playing the game of who's right and who's wrong? And also making sure that you describe the problem for what it is. Okay? So your homework for today is to identify what is that red zone, that thing that is coming up every day, or if it's not every day, it's regularly. This is like really the area where you complain the most, and you know it's going to get you going right away when you face this situation. Okay, so identify your red zone and then choose among the 3 strategies. Do you need to do something differently? Do you need to change your attitude and maybe let go, surrender because it's not worth it? Or do you need to communicate differently? Okay, and I'll give you more tools specifically around the how to communicate differently. Okay, bye-bye.